Hello there YouTube, and thanks very much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker, and it's time for a quick vlog. I'm a day late again. I was last week and I am again this week, but you know, shit happens. So let's have a little catch up, shall we? And I can let you know exactly what I've been up to and what's going on and all that sort of good stuff. I've got some vlog notes going on here just to keep me in touch with what I'm supposed to tell you, although I'm sure I'll forget some of that along the way. Now then, let's get stuck into it, shall we? We've got the charity raffle that is finishing today, so by the time this vlog goes live, I imagine that will be done and dusted. I'm going to do an update on that hopefully tomorrow, and that will include the draw with the winner and all that sort of good stuff, and I've got something a little bit special to include in that as well, so that's something to look forward to for tomorrow. So thank you very, very much to every single one of you that has contributed to the to that raffle, and it's put some money in the pot for that fantastic charity. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Right, now then, what else have we got? I'm just checking to make sure everything is recording as it should do, because I did record something earlier on, completely forgot to put certain sound on. Okay then, so what have I recorded? Let's have a little look. There's only been the 2 product reviews since the last vlog because it was a late vlog last week and just things happen and what have you. Thank you for the well wishes. I only mentioned in passing that, you know, I've had issues with the old hand and all that sort of stuff. They're still going on, unfortunately, and that's why once again we're a little bit later than expected this week. But you know, once again, shit happens. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do indeed? I'm not vaping. Why have I not had a vape? Why have I not had a vape? I've got stuff here. What am I gonna vape? Oh, hey. Now then. Cheers to you. Now then, what have we got? We have got the Crichton RDA. I've had to pop that up here for a moment because I am vaping on a bunch of other stuff. The Crichton from Cyclone, I did that review a few days ago now, and it's gone down really well. And I'm not surprised because it is an absolute corker. If you go onto the Cyclone Mods Facebook group, for instance, you can see how many people are really in love with that little RDA, and it really is great. And more people are coming up with different ways of building it and doing funky things on it all the time, which is really cool. And to have that 24mm RDA that you can have with a squonk pin as well, I think it's fantastic. So you can go clouds for days with squonkers. Now, will somebody please do a nice DNA 200 lipode squonker that's not ridiculous size? That would be great. If you make them, or if you know someone that does, make it happen, because that Crichton needs to be on a big bad boy mod. And yes, and it's got to be able to squonk. It's just a big fuck off like 20mm squonk ball. That would be cool AF, wouldn't it? So yeah, so that'd be really cool. But yeah, that was a really cool review. I enjoyed doing that. I'm enjoying using the Crichton. There's certain things when you start doing the reviews and you start kind of banging through what we do. It's one of those buggers that sometimes you find a bit that you really want to use all the time, but unfortunately, because you're testing gear all the time, it means that you can't use the stuff you really want to use. But it's a fantastic RDA. I'm really enjoying it. Sure, it's not the cheapest, but it's made really well. And yeah, so go and check that review out if you haven't done so as yet. The Woody Vapes box. Now, I had a couple of Woody Vapes boxes come in. I've had them for ages, and they've not really been on my top 10 of mods to do. Yeah, you'll know they're funny looking things. They're a bit retro to look at in as much as they would have been at home 2.5 years ago, no problem at all. And you know, they're still a little bit bulky, a little bit unwieldy, but no, that review went up today, so go and check that out if you're interested in those. And also with that, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take it apart, because it was a little bit sort of unclear as to whether the stab wood piece was just a sticker, or whether it was a veneer, or whether it was a chunk of wood or whatever. So I ripped the box apart just so I could have a look inside it and see what was going on. And yeah, you'll be able to see more in that as well. And I got a boo-boo on my finger, which you can't see because I was carving out the stab wood bit on the front, and yeah, put a screwdriver through my finger. Be careful when you're doing stuff like that. Now then, those are the only 2 that went up today. However, what I am doing is I'm trying to now, I've recorded another review and scheduled it to go out tomorrow. So I'm trying to sort of be ahead of myself a little bit, even though tomorrow I'm going to be recording at least one more video outside of reviews. So yeah, so hopefully I'm going to try and keep in the motion. I've got so much gear I need to get cleared now that I want to try and keep up. Some days I can, some days I can't, so we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and see what we can do on that one. Let's have another little vape though, shall we? Now then, am I going to promise you this is a short vlog? No, there's no point, is there? I'll tell you it's going to be a half-hour vlog, and then I'll be 2.5 days. Now, oh, the cough, by the way, I've got it on top of the limelight box at the moment, just because I think it looks really cool on top of that. But like I say, that is all recorded, all uploaded, and will be available for your viewing pleasure from about lunchtime tomorrow onwards. So let's have a little look at what else is going on. Updates wise, the Goon LP. So yeah, I've still been tinkering with the Goon LP and its mega loose O-rings. Let me put some juice on that bad boy. Using some of this, I think I showed them before. Goodies, which is the way up, is it that way? Goodies. This is from Vapetasia, pistachio gelato, which I'm imagining is not the way you say it if you're American. But gelato, whatever the fuck that is. Is that jelly? Is that what gelato is? Yeah, so we've got that anyway. We've got that going on in here. I've gone back to, I've tried a couple of different builds in it, but I've gone back to 2.5mm ID Claptons in here for the time being. There will be a couple more before the review, but hopefully the review will be out for this very, very soon. Am I excited about it? No, not really. Does it do everything I'd hoped it to do and do it well? No, it does not. But I mentioned that in the last vlog and I'll expand on it in the review. It works and the flavour is okay on it, but once again, I'm throwing as many builds in it as I can. Even though you don't get the opportunity to do a whole bunch of fun stuff in it, which is, you know, one of them things. What else have we got? We've got the Terminator and the Ant-Man, the Terminator mod and the Ant-Man RDA from Tesla there. Now, Mr. Todd put his review up of these the other day, so go and check those out if you're impatient. However, obviously mine will be a lot better. No, it was actually down to Mr. Todd. I figured I could not get the spitback guard out of this without being just very harsh with it, and Mr. Todd said that it will come out if you give it a little bit of a poke. So I gave it a little bit of a poke and bent it quite a bit, but it's out, which is the main thing, and that means that I can have a much better vaping experience and drip through the drip tip. Let's have a little toot on this as well, shall we? I said in the vlog where I showed this little Terminator that I didn't really understand its place in the market, and to some degree I still don't. You know, it's still essentially an unregulated mod in as much as whilst you do have the protection and everything else involved with one of these bad boys, you don't have variable voltage, variable wattage or any of that sort of jazz. So it's all going to be down to how you build your coil, which is fine, but it's not in that case what I would suggest as a learning or a startup kit or anything like that. It's something to that if you're starting to build coils, then sure, grab yourselves one of these, because it's something along these lines you can build on, and you can build on safely, you know, as long as you check your ohms. Don't say that. Don't get me wrong. Make sure you build the RDA on top of something else, and check that resistance properly before you put it on here. But what I'm saying is, once it's on here, you are nice and safe. So that's good. So I kind of get it, but I kind of don't, if that makes sense, you know. What else is going on? We've also got the E-Leaf Pico Dual, which I've mentioned. I've had this for a while as well. I think I've talked about it in a couple of vlogs. It's really uncomfortable to hold still. I don't like the feel of it in the slightest. It is a dual battery, quite a small mod. I mean, that's a 25mm tank on it there, so it is quite large. But if I put it up to something like, I can't really hurt to use my hand, really does hurt. If I put it up to the Minikin, you can see that it is a little bit shorter than the Minikin V2, although it is kind of a bit fatter as well, where you've got the battery. So yeah, it's I think it's chunkier than it needs to be because someone in the design department thought we really need this to be a triangle. But yeah, you know, I mean, it works. It works. But it's because it is that triangle. There's no kind of, for me, there's no natural way to hold it in your hand. Does that make sense? No natural way to hold it in your hand. Yeah. I'm still loving these Vape or Vape Whiz, well, they're called Pollux tanks. I still really love them, and I've got something to talk about regarding those in a little while. But yeah, anyway, that's that. So, I'm still unsure whether the Pico Dual is going to get a review or not, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Cheers, I've got my little Bogan Brew cooler around a Diet Coke. Because, yes, and before you all tell me Diet Coke will kill me, I'm fully aware of that. Thank you very much. Now then, what else have we got to go on? Let's have a look at the notes rather than just staring at the desk. Shall we do that? Let's do that, shall we? Fuck me. I'm keeping checking on Dave on the camera. People have asked kind of why I keep switching the camera off and then on again. If you're new to it, basically because I'm recording in full mashings on my Canon G7X Mark II, I think it has a maximum file size of either 4 gig or a maximum time size of around 15-16 minutes, something like that. So it means that I have to turn it off and then turn it back on again. Otherwise, I could get more out of it if I record in a lot less resolution, I suppose. Clarity. Also, I've moved my lights. Do I look prettier? Do my eyes sparkle a little bit? It makes a bag show up a little bit more, doesn't it? But yeah, I've moved my lights a little bit, so hopefully it kind of makes things pop a little bit better. Now then, that's that covered. E-Leaf Pico Dual. Good. Lovely. What are we on? 12 minutes. Hey, we're not doing bad today. We're not doing bad today at all. So then, what have we got to look at next? Let's have a little look at something that came into me from Ohmz Distro in the UK. Andy very kindly brought this along. It was literally like 3 hours or so after I had finished recording my my vlog last week, which was most frustrating. But let me just put some juice on this. I'm going to put some of the Goodies apple strudel on that. No, I don't want Goodies apple strudel. I want, still from Vapetasia. Vapetasia are coming out with some great flavours at the minute. They really are. Which was the one that I wanted on here? Cucumber and pear mojito. Get that bad boy up here. Tell you. I think I've got some bigger bottles of this as well, but I tried these little tasters first just to make sure I'd like them, and I do. Have you ever thought about making an e-liquid taste like a mojito? You're good to me, but that's the this is the little bottle for it anyway. See that? Whoa. And it smells. It smells very funky. I like it. I like it a lot. Right, so yes, this little RDA. It's got O-rings. It's got bastard O-rings on it, which is good, but a bit of a pain in the ass when you've got a gammy hand. Now then, the Skill RDA. Let's see if you can see this. You can see that we've got a little logo carved in at the front of that. It's got a little short, stubby top cap there. With there is some writing in that kind of Ultimate band that goes around. Yeah, it's a little corker. It really is a quite sweet little bugger. It really is. Did I show you the deck? I don't think I did. No, I couldn't. Excuse the dodgy coils. But there we go. It's a really simple deck. Now the posts are just kind of each side of the grub screw, if you like, and the grub screw goes down the middle of it, and it means that you do have a butt ton of space to build in, a big amount of space to build in, and I've really been enjoying using this. This is at 88.8 watts. It's a cloudy little fucker. That's with the airflow not fully open as well. The airflow's on 2 of the 3 holes each side, giving me a nice kind of resisted lung hit. And I've got to say, I think it's a real corker. Cloudy AF, and the flavour on it is surprisingly damn good as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting the review out on this one, actually, because I think it goes back to simple building, but I mean it's made by Twisted Messes, or a collaboration between Vapors MD, I think it is, and Twisted Messes getting it made. I think Vapors MD designed it and Twisted Messes getting it made, something along those lines. But no, I mean it looks cool as you like on top of this little Osmodus Minikin V2. But no, I'm really enjoying using it. Like I say, I think for something so simple, the flavour on that is top notch. It really is. So you're going to start seeing those ticking around a few shops now, I imagine. If you're interested in them, then I imagine tell your vape shop to get in touch with Ohmz Distro. Now then, what else have we got? We've got the Epetite from Lost Vape. Now then, I had a couple of products from Lost Vape come in. Now, one of them was this, and the other one was the E Square. Now, unfortunately, I did have an issue with the button on the E Square, so that's going back. But and I will discuss that when if I get another one and do the review, of course. But this is the Epetite. Now, the wood on the side panels here is, oh, hang on, look, the time. Got to turn it off and turn it on. And there we go, we're back into it again. Whoa, I don't know if I've got all the colours mixed up, but never mind. Yeah, so what I was saying was this one. This is the little Epetite from Lost Vape. It's a tiny little DNA 60. And you can remove the doors on both sides. Now, I think this is a little corker. This small mods are a little bit funky to me because I've got reasonable size hands, I suppose, but not crazy big. But the really small mods are awkward. They're awkward to hold because you want to fire them. You don't know. You have fingers dangling over, and you don't really know what to do. This is a really good size because it's small, but you can still hold it like a normal person. Does that make sense? Because you're not kind of, you're not struggling for figuring out where to put your hands and all that sort of malarkey. So, I think that's quite splendid. The DNA 60 seems to be working really well so far. I'm enjoying using that. Plus the onboard charging on this means that you can charge this up really quickly. It's a single 18650, by the way. It just pops in on the other side like so. And like I say, I'm really enjoying using them. The wood apparently is the same wood that they used on the tan mod. That Lost Vape used to have a mod called a tan. And so, yeah, I don't know what wood it is, and I will tell you more when we do the proper review on it. But as far as little mods go, this is a gorgeous little piece of kit. This really is, and I'm enjoying using it a lot. Now then, on top of that, we've actually got the Athlon little tank, Athlon 22 Mini. This is from Youde. Now, remember I said that I was going to talk about the Pollux again. Now, the Pollux is from VapeWiz, which is, I've got the little one here, which is an arm of Youde. And I really, really, really liked these tanks. I reviewed them with the mod that the Pollux 25 kit comes with. And I fucking love it because the air delivery, the way that the air goes into it and comes up into your mouth is crazy smooth and therefore reasonably quiet. And just for a sub-ohm tank, I think is absolutely superb. Now, with this one, there is a number of similarities. Now, obviously, this is Youde and this is VapeWiz, but VapeWiz is part of Youde. So this one, what does work on the same principle in as much as the air comes in the top section, it goes down and it kind of mixes up in the bottom and then comes up through the middle, as you would expect through your sub-ohm coil. And I've got to say, it's a corker. It's same as this one. This is great. Nice and clear. I mean, this is at 44.4 watts. The coil in it is 0.26. Flavour on it, I think, is pretty darn reasonable for a little sub-ohm tank. I think it looks, I don't know, I mean, well, there we go. It's a little bit busy down the bottom there, but that does work when you want to unscrew the base. there's lots of kind of knurling bits and things and holes and stuff and what have you going on. So it is a little bit busy, but it does perform really, really well. So I'm enjoying this rather a lot. I haven't checked to see if the VapeWiz Pollux coils fit in here yet, but I will do. But I imagine as it's Youde, you will probably be able to get hold of the coils for this one somewhat easier than for the Pollux tanks. But it's really good. This and the Pollux have been tanks that I've had sort of next to me for ages now, because I think they just work really, really well. And I really like the non-turbulent air, because there's like a chamber in the bottom and the air comes down from the top. It comes into the full base is a chamber, and then it just goes up in the middle as and when it wants to. So it doesn't kind of get all messed about and fucked about with and all that sort of stuff. It's really difficult to explain, but trust me, it's smooth AF. So yeah, very cool. Now then, drink. Cheers. Something else that I've had new and is interesting is the Dice RDA. Now it's on top of the old RX300 that I've still got to review. Now this Dice RDA is a big bastard without any shadow of a doubt, and you'll notice that when it comes to the air holes, we've got an air hole on top of an air hole. The reason for that, and I do hope this doesn't upset my wig, it's not too clever, is we are a 2-coil stack sort of jobby. We've got the longest posts in the world. If I remember, I'll put a picture up here of what it looks like without the coils and everything in it. And I did build this. The first time I built this, I thought, I tell you what, the way these posts look, I could do some pretty awesome vertical coils, which I spent a bunch of time putting them in, made them look really pretty, and then realised that the airflow is horizontal and is not going to hit their vertical ones at all, so I had to take them all out again. But no, I mean, for do you need 4 coils in something like this? This is coming through at 0.16. It's about 12 wraps per coil of 24 gauge stainless at 120 watts. Let's have a little toot on here. It is cloudy. It is cloudy. Is it cloudy enough to justify all those coils and stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know. You may have seen in the post. I'm just dumping a load of juice in there. You may have seen in the get your words out, Dean. In the picture, if I remember to put it up, that the post holes are actually tiny. They are really tiny. So you're only going to get single core Claptons at a push in there. So you're not going to put any kind of big bad boy coils in here, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, this is the first set of coils that I've got in here to vape with. So I am going to put a few builds on here and see what it's all about. Is it excessive? Yes. Is it excessive and has great functionality? That remains to be seen, and I'll tell you more about that when I do the review, because there's a lot to get in touch with this one, in as much as, you know, which coil builds are going to work best for me at least. So let's have another little vote. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly clouds. There's bucket loads of airflow going on in there, but yeah, there we go. Right, so I think that has caught us all up. Now look at the time. We're doing ever so well today. We are doing well. I really do want this to be a reasonably quick vlog for a change. What else is going on? I've done a couple of things when it comes to the reviews. Obviously, as I've mentioned already, I've changed my lighting a little bit, so hopefully that'll help. Also, I've got some different bits and bobs and different things that I'm going to kind of put my when I'm doing the review. Can't get my words out. Someone whinged about it earlier on in the week, and I'm sorry about that, but the meds that I'm on give me something called chemo brain, which is sometimes not everything fires as quickly as it should do. So unfortunately, if you don't want massive pauses, you're going to get ums and ers now and then, but you know, shit happens. So I'm sure you can cope with it, can't you? Hey, you don't come here for professionalism, do you? Yes, so what was I saying? I was saying about I've got different backgrounds and stuff that I'm going to be using and trying out, just to try a couple of different kind of looks when it comes to the up close. And also, What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sell I've got a GoPro Hero 4 Black, and I'm going to flog that, and that's going to fund another camera, so I can have a close-up camera sort of constantly set up, and hopefully I'm not going to have the blurring issues I occasionally have, because the Canon that I'm using there, also known as Dave, does have quite a shallow depth of field, no matter how you muck about with your focal length and your aperture and lighting and all this sort of good stuff. It still does have quite a shallow depth of field, so when I want to have a real tight close-up of a deck or something like that, it's very easy to go out of focus, and so I'm changing the way I do that. Once I sell the GoPro, excuse me, once I sell a GoPro, then I will get that and hopefully have a permanent up-close camera. I'll be keeping hold of this one though, because I love Dave. If your name's Dave, I might love you as well, but you know, I don't really swing that way, but camera love is fine. Now then, what else have we got? A couple of conversation points to get your feedback on if you fancy it, and conversation in the down belows down there. Mechs, there's been a couple of people that, since I've been discussing mechs, and people have said generally in the vaping community that mechs are kind of for cloudies and all that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to touch on that, because I know plenty of people that will use a mech with a tank on it, obviously, but not a hybrid mech if the 510 is not safe to be used, and all that sort of good stuff. But something like the broadside that I mention a lot, just because it's a cracker of a little mech. Something like this with like a stainless one of these with a stainless tank on it. It's not a hybrid. It's great, and it's visceral. That's the right word. I think it's visceral, because it's kind of you're getting exactly what the battery is putting out. You are the type of vape you're getting is absolutely dependent on the coil that you build on a mech. And with a tank, just because you're using a tank, it doesn't mean to say you can't use a mech. You know, it just means that you do have to be safe with the type of tank you put on the whatever type of mech that you're using, obviously. So please do maintain that if you're using a hybrid, it's got an extended 510 on the atomizer that you put on, and if you've got a regular one, then obviously you've got more kind of to play with on that. But you can get a brilliant vape from a mech on a tank or an RDA, as long as you do it safely. And you know, if you put a 0.5 coil in a funky tank that you really enjoy using, then you've got a really solid little setup there. And let's not forget, we've only been worrying about regulated mods really for the last couple of years. Before that, it was a mixture of regulated and mechs, and proper mech lovers will just love the form factor and the simplicity of a mechanical device. And so what I'm putting across to you, or what I'm asking you guys, is, do you use mechs? Do you use mechs just for clouds? Do you use mechs to with tanks? Have you got a K-Fun on a mechanical tube mod? Let me know. I'm interested to find out what your opinion is on that one. But yeah, that would be really cool. I'd like to find that out. Thank you very much. Now then, what else have we got? I think that's pretty much covered. New camera, I've mentioned about that one. I don't think there's a great deal for me to tell you. Everything that I've already said in previous vlogs that is in the review queue is up for review. This is like 3 days of smashing this 120 Royalty 2 bottle, and that is, the majority of that is through dripping. And that is, go and look on VapeGeek's website. I'll try and remember to put the links down below. Go and look on VapeGeek's website, and in fact, fuck it, let's do it. We've got time. Let's have a little look. VapeGeek, it's not the cleanest. VapeGeek.com, is it? Let's have a little look. But the taste on it is sublime. Let's have a little look here. I'm just going to search. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search. Search entire store here. I can't search the entire store here. Why can't? What? What are you doing, website? Why are you not working? I think it wants to do the age verification, but it's not letting me. Oh, wait for it. Here we go. No, I can't search the entire VapeGeek. Your website's buggered. It won't let me search the whole store. Now then, right, okay then, let's have a little look. VapeGeek. Are you bored yet? Oh yeah. Royalty 2, here we go. Here we go. Right, Royalty 2, a favourite, arguably our most complex and most unique flavour. Royalty 2 is appreciated by new vapers and veterans also. On inhale, you'll find notes of savoury custard, nuts and creamy vanilla, met with a mild, earthy flavour that's sure to please even the most discerning palates. On the exhale, you'll be greeted by smoothest, creamiest and perfectly sweet flavour you've ever met. I don't know if I get all that, to be honest with you. I get kind of a light vanilla-y, custardy. It's all that, I guess that earthiness is almost like a tobacco-y kind of thing, but don't let that put you off. It's just a really solid flavour. I freaking love it. I really do. But yeah, the other flavours from Vapetasia that I've been trying with the Hooch range and the Goodies range have been splendid. I think when it comes to the Goodies range, I think the pistachio gelato is probably my favourite. Followed up with the apple strudel, which has been going great guns. And when it comes to the Hooch, I think the cucumber pear mojito and the mango strawberry daiquiri have been my favourites so far. And the mango strawberry daiquiri has been a surprise because I don't like mango. I think it tastes like feet. So yeah, there's a thing. Right, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Is this going to be under half an hour vlog? I think it is. So I'm sorry for all of you that like the long ones, but you know, think of it in as much as this is my third video I've recorded today, and I'm trying to put a whole bunch more content out. So there we go. Now, what are we going to sign off with? Let's sign off with the Skill RDA on top of the Minikin V2 because it's marvellous. And any kind of 80s kids, anyone that was in high school in the UK in kind of the mid to late 80s, do you remember just going around saying everything was skill? That's skill, man. Right, I'm getting old. Okay. Thanks very much for watching and have it large.